Before PlayStation ruled the living room, before Xbox became the cool kid, before gaming became a billion-dollar business, there was Sega. A company that didn't just sell consoles, it sold attitude. Sonic wasn't just fast, he was a symbol. A blue streak that said, "We're not Nintendo, we're cooler." Sega was rebellion. It was noise. It was the kid who shouldn't win, but somehow did. And then suddenly, it all fell apart. The company that once felt unstoppable burned out in spectacular fashion. This is the emotional, chaotic, heartbreaking fall of Sega. The rebel who ran too fast and lost the race it started. Welcome to Missed Billions Explained, the series where we explore the billion-dollar battles, the icons that shaped childhoods, and the moments when giants didn't just fail, they faded. If you grew up with cartridges, arcade machines, or Sonic racing across your TV, then this story is stitched into your memory. So let's talk about the day Sega's magic ended. In the late 1980s, gaming was calm, almost too calm. Nintendo was the friendly king, colorful, safe, predictable. Then Sega showed up like a leather-jacketed teenager crashing a children's party. They didn't ask for a seat at the table, they flipped the table. Their consoles were black, sharp, aggressive. Their energy was punk rock. This wasn't Mario's world anymore. Sega wasn't here to be wholesome, they were here to be cool. In 1989, Sega launched the Genesis in the United States. Faster hardware, better sound, sharper graphics. But hardware alone doesn't start a revolution, a mascot does. Enter Sonic the Hedgehog. Fast, cocky, confident, he wasn't a character, he was a challenge. Suddenly, Nintendo felt pressure. Kids in schoolyards switched sides. Genesis or Super Nintendo? By 1993, Sega had nearly half of the US market, an impossible victory, an underdog miracle. And with success came something dangerous, confidence and fear. The early 1990s were Sega's golden years. Their ads were loud and mocking, their games were fast and stylish. If Nintendo was Saturday morning cartoons, Sega was MTV. But behind the swagger, a storm formed. Sega of America and Sega of Japan stopped behaving like one company. They wanted different futures, and success split them apart. Then came the rushing. Instead of building one perfect console, Sega built everything at once. The Sega CD, the 32X, the Pico, the Nomad, the Game Gear, add-ons, expansions, half consoles, experiments shoved into the market. Parents were confused. Developers were exhausted. Nintendo stayed steady. Sega became chaos. In 1994, Sony entered the arena with the PlayStation. Sega panicked. They rushed out the Saturn, powerful but nearly impossible to develop for. And then came the worst decision in Sega's history. They launched the Saturn early without telling retailers. Stores were furious. Some banned Sega entirely. And then Sony walked on stage at E3 and said, $299. Cheaper, simpler, cooler. The Saturn collapsed on impact. By 1998, Sega was desperate, but still full of heart. They poured everything into one last console, the Dreamcast. It was brilliant, ahead of its time. Online play, innovative memory units, iconic games. For a moment, Sega was back. Gamers loved it, critics praised it. The spark returned. Then came the PlayStation 2. It wasn't just a gaming console. It was a DVD player at a time when DVDs were exploding in popularity. People bought PS2s who didn't even play games. Overnight, Dreamcast sales died. Retailers dropped support, developers fled, and Sega had no oxygen left. In 2001, Sega announced they were leaving the console business forever. The Rebel King was gone. Not defeated, silenced. Inside Sega, the collapse was emotional. Developers cried as projects were canceled, teams dissolved. Fans around the world felt the loss in their hearts. It wasn't just a company collapsing, it was an era ending. Sega didn't fall because they lacked ideas. They fell because they had too many.
They pushed too fast, tried too many things, dreamed too loudly. Their ambition was bigger than their structure, their creativity louder than their strategy. And sometimes, the things that make you unforgettable are the same things that destroy you. What if Sega had focused? What if they had slowed down? What if the Saturn had been ready, or the Dreamcast had been given time? They could have been a modern giant, a third pillar in the console war alongside PlayStation and Xbox. They were so close. Sega's story isn't about losing, it's about burning too brightly. Innovation without focus becomes chaos. Art without discipline becomes collapse. But passion without fear, that changes the world. And Sega did. They changed gaming forever. Sega didn't just make consoles. They made memories. They made friendships. They shaped childhoods. Their consoles may be gone, but their spirit lives on. In Sonic, in arcades, in every bold idea that dares to challenge the norm. Sega didn't just compete, they inspired. Thanks for watching Missed Billions Explained. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and let us know which fallen empire you want next. Because somewhere right now, another underdog is rising, and no one knows if they're racing toward victory or straight off a cliff.